Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Mahindra XUV300. This is the Turbo Sport. This is actually finished in blazing bronze color, which is nothing but sort of a shade of yellow. But anyways, this being the Turbo Sport is actually 43,000 more expensive when compared to the older, or rather the non-Turbo Sport 1.2 liter turbo petrol engine. I know that confusion I will sort out in a bit. Now you can call it a variant of the XUV300, but technically it is another version because there are 5 variants, out of which 2 are actually for the dual tone. So there are technically 3 variants on offer. The price of this car is 15.32 lakhs on road Mumbai, and it competes with this, the new version of this of course. Anyways, let's come to the car and straight away open the engine bay. And there is the lever. Oh my goodness, this is so heavy, insanely heavy. There's insulation there and it opens so up. Look at that 90-degree opening. Hood, crazy. There you can see the vibrations. 3-cylinder engines will always vibrate no matter what happens, and that is actually the new engine, which gets a new turbocharger, direct injection, and it is from the M Stallion family, the same family with which the 2-liter engine comes in the XUV700, the Scorpio N and the Thar. And there is where the washer fluid actually goes, and whoa, that was quite the sound because this is very heavy. Now since not much has changed, we'll do a quick recap of the car. So for starters, the change is actually this red treatment, because red actually improves the performance of the car. That's the reason we have a red number plate as well. Mahindra's new Twin Peaks logo is also there. Gloss black finishing on the grille, and lights do not get any LEDs. Look at that halogen bulb. But this is the low beam, this is the high beam, this is the projector setup, this is the reflector setup, and the LED DRL is quite long. Fog light is placed there. It gets front parking sensors, which is quite nice. And coming to the side of the car, well, again, more or less the same, unless and until you smack your eyes right into the wheels, where you realize that the Twin Peaks logo has been added. Yes, tire size is 205/65/16. Alloy wheel design is either a hit or a miss. And gloss black finishing, this is the dual tone, so you've got, gloss black finishing everywhere. On the roof, of course, A pillar, B pillar and C pillar, and you get roof rails as well. This car had done only 99 kilometers when I started driving it, so I'm running it in with a lot of love. There's a request sensor there. When you come behind, you realize that, yeah, the W8 is actually finished in red, the logo. That doesn't really match, but then red means sporty and fast, and this car is definitely faster as well. Faisal Khan's fingers of truth hunting for the exhaust. It is right there, and bumper is not painted. Actually, it does well to reduce the visual bulk. There is the camera of the vehicle, yeah, there it is. And let's open the boot. Says XUV300 right there. Boot is Chintu Mintu at just 257 liters. To make sure it doesn't look Chintu Mintu, Mahindra doesn't even offer a parcel shelf here. Spare wheel is not an alloy, but it is full sized, of course. And the loading lip is also on the higher side. Let's just shut this. The thing is that compromise on the boot is fine because space is actually quite nice at the rear. Door pockets are big. You get this piano black finishing, and overall quality is nice, although there are a lot of hard plastics everywhere. You can see seats are comfortable. You can fold the seats 40-60 format to increase the boot carrying capacity, which is useful at times. Seat belt is gone inside. Okay, you obviously get You obviously get ISOFIX child seat mounts. Magazine holders are a bit weirdish. Yup, not really scooped out. Good amount of legroom, good amount of knee room, but under thigh support is not the best because the seat is a little low. Headroom seems just about adequate for someone as tall as me. There is a hook here, handle to hold on to, height adjustable seat belts, and the dashboard now gets the black treatment. So the whole interior actually gets the black treatment. Don't ask what this is, I also don't know. And you get a proper center armrest with twin cup holders. By the way, everyone gets a head, but that seat belt, proper one which was there here, has been removed. You get a lap belt now, so some cost cutting here and there. In fact, Mahindra has also removed the light from the boot. They have also removed the light from the door, and they have done cost cutting here and there. In fact, this car now gets 6 airbags. Knee airbag has been removed, cost cutting ke chakkar mein. By the way, TGDI is written right here, so that's another thing which helps it differentiate from the regular model. By the way, here you can see, yeah, that is the rain sensor for the wipers. So this cost cutting which I was talking about happened much earlier, not really with the Turbo Sport as such. Let's get inside. Okay, all black treatment actually looks quite nice. Door pockets are big enough, and nice switches here. These are controls for the outside rear view mirrors. Hard plastics here. Seats are nice and comfy. Yeah, really nice seats. Red finishing here on the mat, and you get chrome finish on the pedals, but there's no dead pedal, which is a bit of a bummer. This is the fuse box here. traction control button, stop start, front parking sensors, parking sensors on and off you can do, headlight leveler as well. Now the thing is, we'll do a quick recap of the interior because the focus definitely has to be on the performance, because that is what has really changed. First things first, there's a storage space here. However, the rubbering part is on the top, so when gravity does not work, things will not fall, but usually gravity works, so things will fall. The glove box is so big that Bhagwati can comfortably sit inside. That is the size of the glove box. Absolutely insane, crazy, huh? There's a light as well. Twin cup holders here, but you know what? You have to keep your phone there because there's not much space here. And then there's a 12-volt charging socket, 2 USBs, 1 aux. This thing does not slide. There's good amount of space there as well. Air conditioning is a chiller. It has got dual zone. It has also got a memory function that is like really very cool. So Mahindra has given it some unique features for sure. Let's just shut this for a moment. The buttons are a bit slim and not that great to operate. Some buttons here, these are the buttons to operate the multi-information display there. Weird positioning. This is the button for adjusting the steering mode, so you can decide what kind of steering feel you want. This is very small. Yeah, that is actually a 7-inch screen. It doesn't get wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. However, it gets that, but not wireless, of course, and easy to browse through this. Here is the EcoSense, okay, which will tell you how your driving is. Very important in this day when petrol prices are very high. Navigation, which is not that great. And then obviously you've got car info, which shows you what's the fuel info and all that. So it's kind of a basic screen, not that impressive, but there is a driving school here. You want to listen to the driving school instructor? Here we go.
Please select the parking mode if you need assistance. Align the arc line with the parking slot line. Drive till you find a clear parking slot.
Okay, thank you so much. So basically this reverse camera na, अरे बंद कर भाई, हो गया नहीं, चलो ठीक है, okay. So basically reverse camera has this guide which tells you कि कैसे park करना है. And this is auto dimming, of course. There's a sunglass holder here, nicely done, huh? Look at that light and all, nothing here at all, but quality seems quite impressive. And there's obviously a sunroof here as well. Even the W6 variant gets that, so that's kind of nice. And oh my god, it opens quite a bit. That's kind of cool. Again, you get the new logo here. These are the buttons for the cruise control. These are for the audio system. Automatic wipers. Yes, that's right. Automatic wipers. Automatic headlights as well. And that cluster, well, you know what? When I turn off the light, there, the color changes because you can actually change the color. It shows you the tire direction as well. And then it also says goodbye when you turn off the car. It also has a welcome. That's kind of impressive, but a little basic, the cluster. You can browse through a ton of information. There's a tire pressure monitor as well. And if you want to get into the menu now, it's a bit cumbersome to operate. So when you get into the menu, there are a lot of things you would like to see. So here, now you have to long press this button, then you enter this menu. Okay, and then there's so many things inside, and you can change the color how you want it to happen. Yeah, there, I can keep changing the color how I want it to be. Okay, so we made it on night. So let me just turn on the lights, and there you see purple, and yeah, it's a bit weird because it doesn't change the outer ring somehow. The horn is okay, fine. Says airbag here. Knee airbag has been removed. Engine start button is right there, but all this doesn't really matter. What matters is how the performance is. So let's just focus on that. Let's start driving right away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means first and foremost, let's turn off the air conditioning and we will actually get into the camera display here, which means I have to get into the car info, then reverse camera, show reverse camera, and then
please select the parking mode if you need assistance.
Shut up. Okay, now we are going to turn off the traction control. Yeah, I think I have to keep that button pressed, and we get to sport for the steering wheel as well, into first gear. Handbrake down, revving the motor, hazard lights off. Quite the wheel spin, huh? Absolutely crazy wheel spin, because this is a very powerful car. We'll come to that in a bit, but let me tell you that first and foremost, it feels super duper refined to drive. Yeah, it's a very refined engine. And that's kudos to Mahindra for making an engine which is so smooth, refined, yet very powerful as well. So this is a 1.2 liter 3-cylinder engine. What is different when compared to before? Well, this is a new engine. Firstly, it belongs to the new M Stallion family, in which there is the 2-liter engine which also powers the Thar, Scorpio and the XUV300. So new family of engines, direct injection is also there, and that's the real reason why it feels so smooth and punchy as well. Like, it pulls very nicely and strongly. The other thing is that it has a bigger turbocharger, and because of which it obviously makes more power and torque, and that results in turbo lag, of course. So the claim numbers are 131 horsepower at 5000 rpm. Meanwhile, the torque output is 230 newton meters, which comes in at a low 1500 rpm and stays there till 3750 rpm. So a nice torque band as well, but there is a caveat. Okay, all these numbers really don't translate to a fantastic low end punch, because there is some lag lower down because the turbos take their own sweet time to spool up. But once they do, the mid-range is absolutely fantastic, aided by the overboost function, which gives it 250 newton meters of torque. Briefly, between second to sixth gear and between 1750 to 3500 rpm, you will get that overboost once you're on 70% throttle at least. So that's again an amazing feature. The turbos need to be cool enough to be able to offer you that additional boost of torque, and that results in even better performance. Now, in terms of the performance with respect to the old engine, this is 2 seconds faster, goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 10.9 seconds, which is quite quick. In fact, top speed is claimed to be 185 kilometers per hour, and I see no reason at all for this car not to be able to achieve it. It will do it very easily because there's good amount of grunt on offer. So power is increased from 110 to 131, torque has increased from 200 newton meters to 230 newton meters or 250 newton meters on overboost, and the result is for everyone to see. It just pulls very strongly. There's that lag lower down, but mid-range is absolutely stupendous. Here, I make a downshift into second. There, look at the pull from the motor. Very nice. It's a very fun car to drive, no denying that fact. And then the suspension tuning is also very nicely done. Okay, in fact, you don't really feel much of the road, and you know what, the 17-inch wheels gave you that bit of a road shock on really bad bumps. This doesn't even have that because this is running on 16-inch wheels, so the ride is even better. Fantastic ride, a very nice ride, very mature setup to the suspension, good amount of ground clearance at 180 mm, and fuel efficiency is also gone up. Earlier claimed it was, I think, 17 kilometers per liter. Now it's 18.2 kilometers per liter when compared to the older engine, which I think is still on sale, or they're going to clear stock or whatever, but that doesn't matter. What matters is when you want to make a quick overtake, this car will instantly give you that boost. Now, it runs a 6-speed manual gearbox. Thank God it's a manual. Save the manual. Unfortunately, once everything goes electric, manuals will be dead in either ways. So it's good that you're able to get a stick shift with this. The throws are a little on the longer side. The clutch also has a little bit of a travel, but you know what, it's still a lot of joy to drive this car. In fact, right now I'm in 5th gear. The mid-range is so good. Now here, I get into the throttle, it pulls really nicely. There's like no hesitation at all in the mid-range as such. And that brings me to another very interesting aspect. Top end is missing in this car, so it feels like a diesel. The mid-range punches so much that it kind of gives you that diesel pushback, but top end it's dead. Beyond 4000 rpm it becomes sluggish and then becomes noisy as well, and all the refinement levels are so good that you don't hear the 3-cylinder thrum. In the top end it becomes quite vocal. You want to hear the vocalness? Here we go. I'm going to come into 2nd gear, and here we go. Redline comes under 6000 rpm, somewhere around 5800 rpm. So some diesels actually redlined at 5500 rpm, so redline could be a bit higher, but this engine is made very much like with a diesel characteristic, and it doesn't hesitate or bog down at all, because Mahindra's actually tuned it for performance, not for efficiency, not for emissions, not for kitna deti hai. No. This is about pure performance, and it really, you know, okay, reverse camera not available after a certain speed because that driver rear monitor doesn't really work that way, and there's just eco sense to see with nothing much to see as such. The steering is actually very light in comfort setting, and then it is okay light in the normal setting, and in sport it is artificially weighted up but doesn't really have much feel or feedback, and that's the only fly in the ointment of what is otherwise a brilliant to drive car. Here we're going to make a lane change, and you know, things are comfortable. High speed stability is also fantastic, so a lot of positives with the XUV300, especially this engine really makes you smile, and it just performs so well that I want to stop and I want to launch it again and again and again and again and just enjoy the wheel spin. Even though there's so much grip on offer, it will still wheel spin like absolute crazy. Yeah, so traction control turns on beyond a certain speed, with what is the case with most Mahindra cars, which means we'll turn it off right now, and it will not turn off unless and until I come to a speed under 60 kilometers per hour. So here we are slowing down, and then now under 60 it will turn off. I don't know why they don't let you turn off traction control, but it's very irritating because I just want the traction control off all the time. I want to stop, launch, but I have to keep going into the setting, turning off traction control, hazard lights on. You see, roads are bad, you can't feel anything. It's just so refined a suspension, fantastic. Here we are into first gear, hazard lights off, revving the motor. It's not a fast revving motor, but it is a very punchy motor, and then obviously it does wheel spin quite a bit. Even in second gear on upshift, it does wheel spin. So that is the kind of performance you have here, which is very nice. So firstly, kudos to Mahindra. Something which wasn't broken, like that engine wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad at all. Still, Mahindra was like, no, we will launch a better engine. For this, you have to pay 43,000 rupees premium. Yeah, for this particular engine in this particular variant, 43,000 rupees premium, which seems completely worth it for the kind of performance you're being offered. It is actually a very fun car to drive. Body roll is decently well contained. There is roll, things are on the softer side here, of course, but you know what, it is still quite fun because it holds its line around the corners. It feels that it has plenty of grip, and braking performance is good actually. Yeah, see, yeah, slight amount, okay, there the hazards turn on their own under heavy braking. Slight uneasiness under heavy braking, but you know what, it's the brake pedal which feels a bit spongy to operate. That's the only bummer, I would say. Their hazards turn off on their own, hazard lights on, and we are going to launch again. Traction control off. We get into this menu, there's nothing to play around with, so I'm a little bored in that regard, but let's do an audio test because we can. Audio quality is decent, it's not great, so yeah, that could be better as well. But let's just get into car info and just put fuel info, which is saying 10 kilometers per liter right now. So fuel efficiency, okay, forget all that. Okay, hazard lights off, revving the motor. Yeah, so the fuel efficiency is somewhere between 9 to 15 kilometers per liter depending on your driving style. If you drive aggressively, obviously it will return less fuel efficiency, which brings me to the price of the car. There are 5 variants. There are technically 3 variants because 2 variants actually get the dual tone option for an additional 18,000 rupees. The base variant of this is the W6, which is basically of the Turbo Sport, and that is priced at 12.34 lakhs on road Mumbai. This one is priced at 15.32 lakhs on road Mumbai. It is on the expensive side considering the competition will offer you cheaper options, and the main competition will obviously be the Hyundai Venue, specifically the N Line model, which is more expensive, but then it gets a better interior, gets more features, and obviously gets a DCT, a dual clutch automatic gearbox as well. So in terms of pricing, the XUV300 has always been more expensive. In fact, to put it into perspective, this car's diesel engine is the most expensive in the segment because the price is touching almost rupees 17 lakhs on road Mumbai. Yeah, that is quite pricey, but then you know, the car is also quite nice. Okay, very well engineered, lot of positives with this vehicle, but that brings me to an important thing to discuss right now. The Indian market is always focused around interiors, features, fit finish, looks and all that stuff. Not really on safety either, although this is a 5-star global NCAP rated car with 2 airbags. They have reduced airbag from 7 to 6, but that doesn't matter because with 2 airbags they tested it, it did fantastically well. Obviously it will because it's very robust, the chassis is very taut, and it has a nice wide, move out of my way, I'm coming, it has a wide track and all that. So very good in that regard, but instead of making changes to the interior, Mahindra has gone ahead and improved the performance, which is kudos to them for actually focusing on the enthusiast, because if you see, manual is dying, good cars are dying in terms of engaging drive and all. Things are becoming more techy and all, which will eventually happen in the future. Right now we want something which is good in terms of performance and fun to drive, and that is what Mahindra has given us with the XUV300. So I definitely feel happy about that because such a engaging car to drive. Do I need a bigger screen? No, I can live without it. Do I want to listen to better audio? No, I can live without that because I will not even get to that. I will not even look at the interior because I'm just so focused on, you know, going faster on the next corner that I don't even care about all these aspects. So that is something which the XUV300 has done fantastically well. In fact, that makes me wonder, should we not launch it once again? Here, hazard lights on. We're going to come to a halt and into first gear, traction control off. There's a stop start system for better fuel efficiency. Revving the motor, hazard lights off. So guys, if you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Let me know in the comment section. Why am I laughing? I'm laughing because I have been sitting in a sauna right now. You see the kind of sweat I'm having? Yeah, it's insane the kind of sweat I'm having right now because I'm shooting this in like peak sun hours, which is around 12:30 right now. It's absolutely crazy, but then the car is so fun now that I forgot only completely that even with the air conditioning off, nothing's going to change. Honestly, it is just such a hood to drive. I really enjoy driving this, and I hope Mahindra continues to offer us more performance, and that's always been the case with them. They always give preference to horsepower over kilometers per liter. Bye bye. Oh, wish the air conditioning worked better because it's not really cooling as fast as I expected it to. And we have a squad. Oh my god, automatic.